are live, baby. Oh, man. It has been I think calling it a rough week would be a gross understatement. Like, disgusting understatement. It has been so tiring. Like, shot 3 LTTs, shot and reviewed 3 FAPs, and also moved into a new office space, went to the strata meeting for our building complex here, dealt with the inspector failing us. Oh, also, by the way, I found out we are going to have to clear the path to at least one of the rear doors that are now covered behind sets. Do I need to go on? Like, can I just, go off for a bit here about how this week went? Because
I want to know more about the doors.
We have had all hands on deck, basically reorganizing this entire place for 3 days. And with all the stuff that people had to do and just with all the stuff that needed to be done, it has been a nightmare. Like, if you guys have seen any behind the scenes footage, we're going to have a whole organization vlog series coming, because that's the only way that we can get around to cleaning stuff up is by vlogging about it. But like, that unit on the other side of this wall that I'm pointing at right there, that wall, the brown wall, the unit on the other side there, total disaster. If you were ever wondering what happens when you tell a dozen people, hey, there's an empty unit, so like if there's any overflow, it goes in there. If you're ever wondering what that looks like after 6 months, boy, do I ever have the answer for you. A little something like that. By the way, Colton, that crate that you just saw, that is leftover /X WAN show stuff. And then that Antec LAN boy is the recreation of Linus's first PC. So that could be like a charity auction thing for LTX next year or something. I don't know what else we would do with it. So like, oh man, and like the kind of crap that we're cleaning up. Like, we're talking the rotted out husks of old CRTs and like...
I thought you meant literally rotting. I was like, oh.
No, but like dangerous.
Yeah.
And like furniture that we haven't used in months. Like the couch that used to be on the LTT set that just went to Unit 101. Oh, this was a good one. This was a really good one. So those old shelves we had back at the Langley place in the background?
Yes.
Okay, that was like the old A-roll when we were shooting in the dining room there.
Yeah, the like wood-colored ones.
Yeah, the wood-colored ones. Okay. So all the shelves for them were in a scrap wood bin, and then those with just the mid shelves had just like a plank across them and were being used as like a warehouse rack. And I'm kind of sitting here going, we actually have scattered around the 2 warehouses many, many pieces of warehouse racks that could have been assembled to make a warehouse rack. But like, to be clear, I understand why people are doing these things a lot of the time, because they don't have time to solve the problem properly, and we're like constantly working at a frantic pace around here. Like, I get it. That just doesn't make it not frustrating. And so lots of people moved locations. Brandon and Max are in the camera den now. Luke has his own office. How's your office, baby?
It's cool. I stole 2 of the beanbag chairs.
Yeah, saw that.
So I will have the comfiest meetings ever with my employees that aren't
We will have the comfiest meetings.
My friends called me.
Meetings.
They were like, dude, you have the comfiest meetings. It's weird. It's very weird, because I've been with John for like 2 years. Actually, slightly more than that, because in the previous office, I was also with John.
So you upgraded your workspace because you have an office with a door, but you downgraded your neighbor.
Because I don't have one anymore.
Yes,
and
you do. Right next door.
But he's not like...
He has to sit next to Nick.
But there's like a big wall and stuff. Like, John and I had a communal space. And now, like, I got Brandon's old desk.
Yeah.
So my actual usable desk space probably went down.
Yeah,
by
down
like
a little.
Actually, like 30-something%.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually I used to have all 3 of my monitors and quite a bit of usable space.
Right.
Now I have all 3 of my monitors, and that's where the desk ends.
Maybe I was sending a message.
Of what?
About all the shit that you don't need to keep on your desk anymore.
Well, I'm probably going to get another desk.
Dang it.
Mostly because I want more monitors, though.
Dang it.
I'm gonna put monitors there. I'm probably gonna go like
I
buy
knew I
them
wasn't gonna
myself
win that one anyway.
off Craigslist for like $25 each because I just need Junko crappy monitors to do like
Right.
server monitoring.
Right.
I don't need
Well,
nice ones.
You know what we could probably figure out is like we have an iFinity stand that I don't think anyone knows what to do
Yeah.
with. Like maybe we could. Anyway,
that would
you
be
know what?
great, actually.
Before you do furniture for your office, you're gonna want to. Oh wow, that looks really different than it does. Anyway, we'll solve that later. We moved the WAN show.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 feet back from where it was.
Where the camera is now is essentially where the desk was
Yeah.
more or less before.
Frankly, I don't think it makes a huge difference to the quality of the show. I mean, this show wasn't great quality anyway.
And I think it's going to be a lot easier for people to move around because
Yeah.
now it's not like right in the middle of a high traffic area.
So, this is interesting. You didn't know this. Oh, sorry. Before you do furniture stuff in
Yeah.
there, check with Yvonne because like there'll probably be like a plan already.
Okay.
And like we might be able to get you like some shelving. And,
I'm not even
like, stuff.
super worried about
Yeah,
it.
like we'll
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
But the
I have
hexagon,
like a little notepad of the things that I like want.
the hexagon wall from the spaceship. So the plan is to just lift that up. You know the RGB wall?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's just gonna go like right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the spaceship is dumb and
Yeah.
needs to go
We're
away.
getting rid of that.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the spaceship and we're just turning that whole area into like a condo.
Perfect.
But
That's actually, yeah.
coming back to the final inspection, so the theory was that the inspector would come in and look
Right.
only at the new tenant improvement. And that was actually why we built the new tenant improvement like a half a centimeter away from the old one so that it would actually be a completely separate structure. So the inspector will not come look at our old tenant improvement because if they did that, then any code changes in the last 2.5 years would have to be retrofitted to that one. You don't want that. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So it turns out they also want to look at the warehouse space because that's under the new tenant improvement. So that needs 3 exits to the outside, and I thought that those 2 front doors would still count, but technically one of those front doors, which is now enclosed and is a dedicated exit for the new improvement because it needs dedicated exits because it's not actually technically part of the old improvement, that doesn't count for the warehouse, even though, assuming that the employees of Linus Media Group are not a bunch of raving idiots, I'm sure people would be able to figure out to open one more door to
Yeah.
get to the outside. And there are already 2 exits, but we need 3. So those ones are technically sort of obstructed right now.
Well, that one definitely is.
Well, and the one behind where the long-term dust project, that one definitely is too. So there's 1 here, 1 there, we only have 2. So the good news is that we were planning to rearrange some stuff anyway.
That way?
So workshop is maybe going there, but then maybe also staying here because like it's pretty. I like this set. It's the one that I still
good.
really like.
Yeah.
But the green screen is going to shrink, and
Okay,
then the
that's probably
condo's
fair.
going to move this way. But then what we could do is we could maybe come get our final inspection while that stuff's kind of torn down and in flux. And then maybe the inspector could GTF out of here. And then if there ever was a fire, there would actually be 2 full exits for the maximum, like, 5 people that are ever in the warehouse
No,
at
there
a
would
time.
definitely be 3
3
full exits.
people for the 5 exits. 5 exits!
Yeah.
All the exits! We have the best exits.
Make America pay for the exit. Those jokes, like, just never get old.
I know, right? It's like...
We haven't introed the show yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did
we got-
anything else crazy happen this week? We just finished the inspector part.
Anything else crazy? Man, I don't know. All the things. Like, it was like archaeology town around here, man. Like, honestly, organization vlog could be as much fun as moving vlog. Because even though we didn't... No, I don't want to talk about that.
I wasn't sure.
Someone broke into my van, and it's...
So now we're talking about it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get
Not
into
the,
it,
like,
though.
specific bits? Okay.
Yeah, but, like...
That was a really loud train.
Honestly, we've actually... Here, wrap your brain around this.
Okay.
I'm about to blow your mind.
All right.
We've been in here longer than we were in the Langley house.
No, I know. I had that realization. I walked out of my office today to come down to here and was like, bye, office. And then just like brainwave hit me and I fell over into a beanbag chair because I was like, holy crap. Because I was like, that felt more impactful than leaving the old office. And I was like, I wonder why. And I was like, oh, wow.
Because you've been
here
in
for
there
a while.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
My 2-year anniversary on Monday.
It's your you've been here 2 years?
Yeah, buddy.
Is that past the point where I can just fire you for no cause and with no notice?
I mean, you are the owner of the company.
Is it, Max?
Yes.
Max like, yeah, dog. All right, well then, I guess you're still on the team, Colton. Yeah, woo, Colton's still on the team. Let's do some ads. No, we'll get to the ads later. So yeah, there's actually like more archaeology to do here than there was there. And you remember how freaking crazy
that was nuts,
that place was. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's a lot of personalities involved. Okay, things got snippy a little bit because, like, I know you weren't here this week.
I saw some of the team chat though.
Things have gotten a little snippy. You know, there have been some messages to the group chat about grading people's ability to park their cars far enough back from the sidewalk.
Yeah.
You know, like there's been
way too sassy.
That was probably over the line sassy, and so yeah, stuff's gotten real this week. But
meanwhile, I'm sitting
excited.
on a train.
Yeah, meanwhile you're on a train.
I can't really tell about what my event was.
Retrieving our broken company van.
Yeah, which was like. So I was expecting this train trip to be horrible. I only got 2 hours of sleep beforehand, which sucked. But like, it's a train trip, so whatever.
Yeah.
Got held over at the border. They didn't want to let me down because they couldn't understand what I was going down to do.
Don't let me.
Well, they were like, why are you going there?
I need you right now. Don't let me. I can't remember. Okay, sorry.
They're wondering why I was going so far to pick up the vehicle and then like stopping off somewhere else.
It's a fair question.
It wasn't my vehicle.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
And then he kept on getting confused about who I worked for.
Okay.
Which was really difficult to
also
understand.
Also a fair question.
Well, not really, because he would be like, who do you work for? And I'd be like, Linus Media Group. He'd be like, who owns the vehicle? Linus Media Group.
Okay. No.
Is it your vehicle? I was like, no, it's the company's. What companies? Linus Media Group.
Okay. So you did make it pretty easy on him.
Yeah, like it wasn't super complicated.
Okay.
But then we got pulled in, and it just took an annoying amount of time when like there's a train that's going to leave.
Right.
But I left intentionally, like, way early, so I ended up being totally fine, which is part of the reason why I got such a small amount of sleep, but whatever. And then the Wi-Fi on the train was legendary. No streaming of any kind allowed.
Yeah,
not even music.
Okay,
and any files above 10 megs, they just killed.
Really?
Yeah.
You can VPN it usually.
Yeah.
Some of the airlines.
I used to do that on the ferry and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not new to that, but it's just like, all right, come on. And then, so I get down there, get the vehicle, it's fine. Check out Rod's shop. It's amazing.
Yep.
Holy cow, his CNC is incredible. It's expensive, but it's badass.
Yeah. Rod's pretty dope.
And then I went up to Microsoft and things happened. And then you guys will hear about that later.
Yeah, so my week was definitely more eventful than yours.
I mean, mine was pretty eventful.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, but we wouldn't know that.
No.
Right.
Get owned.
Right. All right. So I guess we should get into the news for the week. We haven't even rolled the intro.
Well, okay.
Holy
without
crap.
looking at the doc.
Okay.
Guess.
Vega, Threadripper, Core i9.
Yep.
Maybe Nvidia did something.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds good.
All right.
Roll the intro.
Let's just roll the intro. Forget it. Screw it.
All the first topics are i9, Threadripper, and Vega.
Sick. Sick, bruh.
I'm trying to see if Nvidia did something, but I don't think so.
Maybe it just wasn't newsworthy because, like, it didn't make it into the circle jerk.
Right. Yeah.
Am I allowed to say circle jerk while I'm flashing our sponsor logos on the screen? Let's just hope they don't look at that part. All right. And, yeah, it must be the WAN show. That's weird. I resized it and now it looks so different to me.
It kind of does.
I wonder, yeah, we could probably move it a little closer even, try and take up even less space out there.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we move into our first tech topic of the week. So the Core i9 CPU lineup specs have been finalized. This is according to PCPer, and it was posted by the Benjamins over on the forum. Now, there was a lot of speculation that the reason that Intel wasn't finalizing some aspects of the rest of the Core i9 lineup was because they had no idea if they were going to be able to make these bloody things based on how much power they were going to consume and how much heat they were going to output.
Which, okay, is kind of a weird trend, can I just say? We have these processors being huge amount of power, huge amount of heat, Vega, huge amount of power, huge amount of heat, where for the longest time it's just been like, those things don't matter because they're just constantly going down.
Well, that's, I guess, what competition does, is it forces you to push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, which is cool.
So here we go. So Skylake X goes up to 18 cores, as we already knew, but this is some interesting stuff. It will turbo up to 4.4 gigahertz at Turbo Boost Max speeds, and it'll Turbo Boost at Turbo Boost 2.0 speeds of up to 4.2 gigahertz. So that's pretty sick, I guess. It'll cost $2,000, which we already knew, and it'll have 18 cores, 36 threads, as we already knew. So the pricing looks like from the 7900X, which is kind of the flagship right now at $1,000, you're going to pay $200, $200, $300, then another $300 to get 12, 14, 16, and 18 cores respectively, and they pretty much are all going to turbo the same, except the 7900X and the 7820, which are going to hit 4.5 gigahertz. So those are your single thread kings if you need a high core count processor, because otherwise you're just getting a 7700K because you're not stupid enough to spend money on an LGA 2066 motherboard so you can put a 7740 on it. How that stacks up with Threadripper is that basically multi-core at the same core counts performance is going to look fairly similar. Remember, Skylake is a generation behind Kaby Lake on the consumer side, so that is one fewer generational improvement that AMD has to fight with on this platform. So at similar core counts, they're going to perform pretty similarly, except maybe a little less for AMD because their max turbo is 4 gigahertz. But what AMD brings to the table is higher base clocks. So in those highly threaded workloads, AMD is going to look pretty good, and they bring lower pricing to the table. So your 16 core is going to cost $1,000. So AMD is going head to head against Intel's 10 core, and their 12 core gets to go up against somewhere between an 8 core and a 10 core. But that 8 core is actually kind of kneecapped with only 28 PCIe lanes versus Threadripper's full 64. And then the 1900X is that kind of weirdo SKU where it's only got 8 cores, 16 threads, just like the consumer top-end Ryzen 7, but it's got 64 PCIe lanes for being able to put like lots of GPUs or other devices on it. And Nick needs something. What can I do for you?
I need you for a minute.
You need me like water, like the other words.
I'm going to show you guys something while Linus is gone that I just think is absolutely wonderful. I opened it on the wrong computer. It's okay, I'll figure this out. Perpetual WAN show doc. So this happened on Twitter. You guys might have seen it. It was pretty popular on the Reddits today. But Nvidia tweeted out, "Welcome back, AMD. Threadripper and a GeForce 1080 Ti make a compelling pair." It's interesting because you have to remember that they're technically separate business groups, the graphics cards and the CPUs on AMD's side. So Nvidia's like totally okay with doing stuff like this. Whew, the fight is coming. Give me 1 second. I think with that we're gonna move on. Wow. What? Okay, hold up. How do we turn this back on? Does it automatically? You can talk normally.
Yeah.
It just automatically turns back on? Okay, so unfortunately a light that is like right here was unplugged, and it takes like a long time for it to heat up. Which, does that make sense? Because it was already hot? We'll figure it out.
I was unplugging a vacuum and I unplugged the wrong thing.
You're gonna vacuum here? Right now?
No, I was unplugging. Hey,
Oh, unplugging that.
continue.
Okay, anyway, sorry, moving on. Enermax is going to have the first out-of-the-gate AIO for Threadripper. I'm going to drop this into the chat and then try to get it up on screen real quick. I don't see it warming up, so I'm really not sure about that. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
We're going to talk about Threadripper's first water block,
What
and I
just
showed
happened?
off. Yeah, Colton accidentally unplugged that. I showed this off.
Did he accidentally copyright strike our own channel while he's at it? Yeah, you heard me, Colton.
I showed this off real quick.
Oh, cool. What?
Yeah, that
What?
happened on Twitter.
No.
Yeah.
You know, with how much bad blood there is between those two companies, like, that almost comes across as, like, throwing shade, man. Yeah. Like, oh, man, that is, like, honestly, like, the way... Okay, so first of all... So AMD did segment the company. So they switched over
I
to
said
the
I said that when you were gone.
AMD and Radeon Technologies Group.
So like technically Nvidia's just talking to the CPU side.
Yeah, and technically, a lot of the bad blood really is between Nvidia and ATI.
Yeah.
That's how far back it goes. But like the engineering teams, the engineering team at AMD contains ATI people still, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of lifers that are still around there.
Hey Brandon, is it like coming back?
I think so.
So
Like,
here. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't see it warming up.
I got a solution. Here, look.
It's
there.
not plugged. It's not what? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we use the flashlight. Flashlight on the phone, baby. There we go. No problem. Okay, we got this. So what's your vibe? What's your vibe? Genuine
Nice.
welcome back to the enthusiast party, or are they throwing shade? Like haha, you weren't around for 5 years.
I would give them benefit of the doubt here.
You would give Nvidia the benefit of the doubt when it comes to crapping on AMD.
Okay, but it is crapping on them. The welcome back. Mm-hmm. The welcome back part is crapping on them, but they are legitimately saying, like, we think our GPUs will work well with your CPUs.
Which they will.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And they are legitimately saying that. So I think they're like to the guy who like goes on vacation for a year and then scores his first touchdown after like a really, really, really long time. And you're like, welcome back. You did a good job. Like, it's a little sassy, but at the same time, you're like, okay, good job.
I'll give it a minute to warm up. I think it's drying on. I think I'm getting it.
Or it's just broken now.
Yeah, it's possible that we like.
Hey!
Hey, the lights on. Okay. Oh lordy. Okay. What else we got in the news this
Here,
week?
Brandon. Wow, world's worst throw. Sorry.
This is interesting. So this was posted by
More Threadripper.
Knickknack on the forum. More Threadripper news. The
I think it
original.
isn't on. It's warming up now. You guys will.
Yeah,
it's coming
don't worry,
back.
it's coming. The original article is from Tom's Hardware. Okay, so there was a lot of controversy over Intel's, I don't even remember what the stupid feature is called anymore, but their bootable RAID that bypasses the PCI Express controller in the chipset and goes straight off the something rock. Dang it. VRock. So VRock, Intel's software RAID that's running straight off the CPU that's bootable. There's a lot of controversy over Intel's intention to allow users to upgrade to it with like a hardware like enabling key that they have to plug into their motherboard.
Yeah.
Although, so I'll give them this though, they were a step ahead of AMD, who is straight up not able to support bootable NVMe RAID at all right now. So there, you can.
How many people do you think this excludes?
Okay, 2 answers. Answer number 1, very few.
Yeah.
Answer number 2, within the community of users
That are going to buy
that are
something
buying
at this tier.
$1,000 processors
Yeah.
$400 motherboards. If I'm spending this kind of money on a motherboard, I better have cashola to just drop on NVMe RAID.
But even then, buying a 1 terabyte NVMe drive is just your bootable drive, and then doing other stuff with other things like hard drives and whatnot for like huge amounts of storage beyond that seems pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
Like even my crazy, stupid, overbuilt computer just has 1 NVMe drive.
And
it's lightning fast, and I can't tell the difference between the stuff that's on the SATA RAID.
yeah.
Because it's pretty fast, having like 3 really quick SSDs in RAID 0.
So there aren't a ton of consumer applications for NVMe RAID boot drives. However,
Boot drives. That's the part that I'm trying to make very clear here that I'm
yes.
talking about.
Because
the
you could
booting
always
part.
software RAID NVMe drives.
Yeah.
Like, I have a software RAID of NVMe drives that we're running our editing server off of.
Yeah, so we're
Not booting to
specifically
it.
talking about boot drives.
Yeah. And honestly, I have a hard time telling the difference between an NVMe boot drive and even a good SATA SSD boot drive.
Like not even RAID 0.
Unless I'm hitting it pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, Threadripper is being targeted at the workstation user as well as the enthusiast who's just like, herpaderp, I want the fastest! I want to go faster! And just like buying more NVMe drives even though they know they can't tell the difference. And on the workstation, where you're working with some like huge data set or something, we're talking 16 cores crunching it, you could run into an I/O bottleneck.
But why do you care about it being on the boot drive?
Also, they're enabling the feature in the future. So this is kind of a non-story. This is
I
kind
didn't
of a
even
non-story.
notice that part at launch.
No, I was
Okay.
I was just mostly
So
messing
like
with
it
you.
barely matters, and it only matters for a limited period of time.
Yes.
All right.
This is kind of okay. This is one of those things where like it's kind of like Intel having. Okay, so Intel had support for NVMe RAID within their what's that stupid RST rapid storage technology or SRT? No, RST. Their rapid storage technology, like their driver. Like software RAID doodad that lives in the system tray.
There you go.
Okay, so they had support for NVMe RAID going back quite a ways. But the problem for me when I bought that 48 NVMe
Man,
server,
that makes me feel old.
I shouldn't say bought because Supermicro sent it to me, but I bought the drives that went in it.
Going back quite a ways, I still remember making the video for like the first drive, let alone.
Right.
Anyways.
Okay, so when I got the 48 drive server, I ran into all these problems trying to create a RAID array because it turned out that it was capped at 12 devices. And I was like, well, this is a spectacularly first world problem that affects very few people.
Like you.
Me. No one else had ever brought it up to Supermicro. I was like, hey, so you've got this 48 drive enclosure. Like, how do you run all the drives together? And they're like, nobody's ever asked. And I'm like, what do you mean nobody's ever asked? And they're like, well, don't take this the wrong way, Linus. But most of the people using a device like this kind of know what they're doing. I mean, they said it a lot nicer than that, like way nicer than that. But it was pretty savage. And I got all the way to like one of their like class support techs, and the guy's just like, yeah, like we're shipping this crap to like, tier 1 software companies. Like they've got their own proprietary crap they're running on it. Like they're like forking Linux distros to like build their own friggin' thing. And I'm like, so like, you got a number for someone over there? Maybe they want to hook me up or what? Like,
oh, brutal.
Yeah, so I ended up with Windows storage spaces. Which is working
a huge
great, by the way.
Problem.
Which is working great, by the way.
Not working great.
What?
For me.
What's not working great?
I've talked to multiple people about it. I tried to set up my system with storage spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? Because I
Okay.
had lots of problems with those two boards. The first one wouldn't boot with certain RAM configurations.
Yeah, for your
and
personal
then the second one
Yep.
had just no RAID setup.
Yeah.
It just didn't exist on the board at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll try
Yeah.
storage spaces. And everyone was like, It'll be fine. And it's
Nah.
been fine for everything except for Ubisoft games.
Oh, really? Okay, well, that I didn't see coming.
Steam games launch fine.
Yeah.
Origin games, I think I've had problems with like one or two, and they were like super retro-y ones. All the new ones work fine. And then every single Ubisoft game doesn't work at all.
You know, you have a NAS anyway. If I were you, I would just be
It
software
doesn't
RAID
matter.
5 and then mirror it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just annoying.
like why? Like, and like, okay, we could definitely blame Ubisoft here, but at some degree, I wouldn't be surprised if it's both sides to a little bit.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think your NAS also supports iSCSI. You could set up an iSCSI target.
Would be totally fine.
Yeah, that would probably do it.
I'd be loading games off hard drives. Like I don't want to put everything over there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. This was posted by the Angry Computer Masher on the forum. The original article is from Video Cards. Apparently, Threadripper water blocks are coming, which is important because Threadripper is also the
Could
heat
really
ripper.
use it. Yeah.
So it's available in a variety of different colors. There's red, there's silver, it's a variety of sorts. And it's by a company called Bisky. It's a Chinese. There are so many Chinese case and like cooling manufacturers that I had never freaking heard of when I went over to Computex. Like, cognitively, I'm aware that there's a billion people in China. And cognitively, I'm aware that that's as many people as there are in North America and, like, I think most of Europe combined. Like, cognitively, I'm aware of these things. So it makes sense then that there would be, like, for every EK and SwiftTech and...
EK and SwiftTech, I've never heard of this company before, and I'm going to assume that they're bigger than both of them.
Could be. So for every EK and every SwiftTech, there's probably a brand that exists solely within China that's as big or bigger. And it's like,
That's
whoa.
got to be great for that company, because then you only deal with that country's issues, and you're shipping...
Although it
like,
has some pretty special issues, but...
Right, we've learned that.
Yeah. Like, apparently there's a whole, like, bribe economy.
In the tax system.
Yeah.
So when you're paying local taxes, there's like bribes that you have to pay along with the taxes, and that can depend on like who the person is and what their status is, and it
it's
changes over time.
Almost impossible to automate.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty sketch actually, but
Yeah.
carry on.
But you'd probably get used to it
Yep.
if you're there your whole
Yep.
life, and you get used to it. And like shipping stuff is probably relatively simple. Mm-hmm. Not going over tons of different borders, not dealing with all that.
Although I think the last mile is legitimately by bicycle in China, so there's that.
not all of them.
Yeah.
I mean shipping to like stores and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, carry on.
Well, it's impossible that it's all of them.
No, okay, yes, not everything. Yes, you would
Yeah.
have, but
Because like big apartment buildings.
yes. So,
I doubt you're shipping a Threadripper to like a hut.
you know what? We should go on a field trip to China at some point. Like, I've been there now. You've been there, right?
Yeah.
But I was there for like 48 hours tops.
Similar.
Yeah, like
And
I
I
didn't.
was like in my hotel room float planing almost the entire time.
And like I was in a hotel that specifically had instructions for how to bypass the Great Firewall of China. So
Oh, yeah.
my only exposure to it was like on TV, something came on, and I was like I know what's behind that, but like why are you even bothering? Like, I couldn't even figure out why they didn't want people to know about that specific thing. But I was like, oh yeah, look at that, they really do censor TV. How about that? But it would be interesting to just go see like Chinese LAN parties and like Chinese computer stores.
that would be super cool.
Like that would be pretty fun. Like, isn't one of Nvidia's like big like certified
should
LAN
try to meet-
centers there?
I think so, and we should try to meet with like a big Chinese like computer hardware reviewing group.
Yeah, that would be
And, like,
very
just
interesting.
See what they do.
Just be like,
do like a studio tour.
Yo, what's up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do hardware reviews work in China? Because like honestly,
And like, what are your big brands?
yeah, like the truly global manufacturers, the guys like Intel.
Yeah.
Like they could put us in touch.
Yeah.
For sure. AMD would probably be easier actually because they're less segmented from region to region
Right,
because
yeah.
they're a smaller company. Because they haven't had a great 5 years. But yeah, like someone like AMD could probably be like, yeah, like here's the guys who matter in China. Be like, yeah,
That would be
what's up?
super interesting.
I wonder if we'd be able to get a visa for that.
It's media, so it would be harder.
Yeah.
But maybe
Speaking
we could
of,
make it meetings or something.
Speaking of visas, get out your wallet because it's sponsor time! Come on, that was pretty good.
That was all right.
Mack Weldon believes in smart design, premium fabric, and simple shopping. And you know what? It's one thing to say they believe in it, but they actually, like, do care about it and do that. Because, like, you know, I could say Linus Media Group believes in high production values, but when push comes to shove, you know, we release a video every day. So, organization vlog.
We believe in relatively high production.
Yeah, Mack Weldon will be the most comfortable underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, and sweatpants that you will ever wear. That is their guarantee. And this is like the coolest thing about their lineup. They have a line of silver underwear and shirts that are naturally antimicrobial, which means that they don't stink the way that regular shirts do.
Before you said that, someone in the chat said antimicrobial, yes.
Antimicrobial, yes. Look bad, no. MackWeldon.com, and you can get 20% off with offer code TechTips over at Mack Weldon. They will even send you your first pair, and you can keep it, and they will still refund you if you don't like their stuff. No questions asked, so go check it out. Also sponsoring the show today is FreshBooks. FreshBooks is the cloud accounting software for small business owners and freelancers. FreshBooks is all about, I don't know where you're going right now. Nope, no. Oh, these are for us, though. We get to play with these during the next spot. So FreshBooks is all about helping you stay organized, save money, and make more money so you can spend your time working instead of spending your time, like, figuring out what were your expenses or what hours did you log on that job. You can send invoices in just seconds. You can just take pictures of your expenses to track them as you go, and you can take the whole experience with you on the go. So just try it out. If you have any questions, you can call them. Their support staff legitimately just picks up phones like, "Hi, FreshBooks, what can I help you with?" No escalations, they're all trained up, and there's no phone tree, nothing like that. So try it out for 30 days for free by heading over to freshbooks.com/WAN and entering WAN in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Did I say it was 30-day free trial? Speaking of free trials, you and I got a huge variety of Spektrum glasses to try out, and I am planning to wear mine for the rest of the show. I don't know about you.
Okay, I'm down.
I am totally down.
I've picked mine already. I actually checked out all of them.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Those are kids,
Oh, really? Oh,
so you can
okay.
try that. And I think these are more for ladies.
You know what? Cat eyes.
I'll try 'em
All
on.
right. So they got a bunch of different
I'll
styles
give it a
here.
shot.
So
I'll try
there's
the kids one.
This is artist. You're not gonna fit the kids
I'm gonna
one.
try it.
All right. So this is the artist style.
Oh my god, they're amazing.
You know what's funny?
They even have like
Oh, those are
rubbery ends.
adorable.
Heck yeah. These are awesome.
You know what's so funny about like hipster
Oh.
people? Hey, they've got they're double jointed, so
Yeah.
that when they drop them or sit on them or whatever.
Yeah, and
Okay,
even the
okay.
ends are all flexible and stuff.
Okay. The
didn't
funny
expect
thing
that.
about hipster, like artist people, is that these were legitimately what my grandma was wearing in the late 90s. Now, that's a cool, trendy thing for young people because that's how it works, apparently. I'm liking these. I'll wear these for the rest. I'm down for the hipster. I'm down for the hipster, like, because they got like the yellow and black kind of alternating kind of pattern around them. See
It
that?
actually looks
You
pretty
can
good
see
on
that,
you.
right? Those look good on you too.
I
actually.
think they're slightly too round, but when you're looking at like this pattern,
Yeah.
looks really good on you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be trendy. Anyway, the point is, Spektrum glasses are for folks who stare at a monitor all day. They filter the blue light but let through the yellow, and they are meant to make it more comfortable to be using a screen all day. Some monitors do have a blue light mode, but that's only really gotten popular within the last few years. So there are literally millions, tens of millions of monitors and laptops actually out there that do not have a mode like that. And while there are software solutions, it is not the same type of filtering
Yeah.
that these do.
Yeah.
They're stylish. That's one of their talking points. We'll let you guys be the judge. So they're stylish, they have low color distortion, and, well, the highest rated among competitors on Amazon. So they're primarily focused on the Canadian and US markets, but they're expanding to Europe, and they offer international shipping. So check them out over at spectrumglasses.com/collection/products. We really need a better vanity URL, and you can get 10% off using offer code Linus.
Okay.
All right. So let's see what else we got here.
Or Floatplane.
We got news. Oh yeah, cool. What's up on Floatplane right now? I never
While
logged
you're
in.
getting that up, I can talk about this. I don't think we need anything on screen for this necessarily. Discord is announcing video chat and screen sharing. Although one big thing that's going to lack on this launch is there won't be any audio pass through for the screen sharing. Although I don't necessarily know if I care all that much. I'm sure it matters to a certain degree.
Is that like something where they're running into like DRM sort of restrictions possibly, or like?
But they're passing the video through.
Yeah, but if they can't pass the audio, like that,
It's less likely.
It would make the
do it.
group movie watching experience a little less
Right.
likely.
I could maybe. I don't know.
I'm
I
just
think
guessing.
Skype does it though.
I'm just guessing. So.
But then Skype maybe has a bigger legal team or something. I don't know. They are saying now friends on Discord can watch each other play their favorite games while talking face to face. That sounds weird. I don't know if that's really going to be a thing. But it might be a lot easier for streamers.
Maybe you're just getting old.
Maybe. That's possible. I could see it being a much bigger thing for streamers. Discord already has streamer mode and like ties into Twitch where you can have all your subscribers in your Twitch channel and all this kind of stuff. And if you can have voice and video calls, streamers could have like a streaming room and be in streaming mode and all that kind of stuff and use that instead of like Skype for doing streams collaboratively. Which makes a lot of sense.
All right, I've got a lot of good stuff on Floatplane this week, actually. We've got the cheapest PC case on the market.
Oh, man.
We found it. We hot-rodded the snot out of it. It's actually awesome. It's
that looks really cool, actually.
It's actually sick. Alex did a great job.
I love how now that we have, like, Alex and these other guys, it's like, oh, this thing sucks. We'll, like, tear the trash out of it and like make fun of it and then make it awesome because we're just gonna mod the hell out of it.
That's right, baby.
That's super
4K
cool.
gaming at 120 hertz on a DIY monitor.
What?
Yeah, baby.
Wait, did you make that?
It's a kit.
Okay, that's cool.
Unboxing the real Razer toaster.
Nice.
Is Nvidia ruining your performance by sandbagging their drivers?
Oh, that's a triggery video.
I know, but it had to be done.
Of course.
It had to be done. We've got a couple of other things. We've got a lot of behind-the-scenes vlogs and stuff like that. We've got a couple tech quickies. Crappiest SLI setup of all time. We've had a lot of simultaneous releases lately, so it's pushed out some pretty old videos that have been taking a while to make their way to the platform. But we've got some really good stuff coming. But like
in place of that, there has been a lot of sounds on. There has been a lot of like the moving stuff and whatnot.
I've actually got one more vlog, and then I'm going to start doing some meet the team pieces because people have asked for like kind of proper intros to some of the new people. So
you know what's interesting? Cool. Talking about stuff on YouTube now that did really well on Floatplane as well, and if you're on Floatplane, you would have seen it earlier, is the Pippin video.
Yeah!
Did really well.
People love that.
It's still going, too. It's beating the Threadripper.
1.1 million views on... maybe did it help that we had a sealed... Some people were pretty salty that we opened that thing, hey?
Really?
Yeah. They were like, that was vintage and I see their point. Like, it was not sealed. It's not like you can make a new not sealed one.
I don't really agree with that.
But we didn't damage it.
I collect old games and stuff, but in my opinion, they're there to be played.
Yeah, see, that's a philosophical thing, though, that a lot of collectors... Like, okay, so this is
I hear, like, I know that there is a lot of people that view it this way. I just don't, personally.
So it's a stupid tangent. One of my wife's friend's daughter is turning 1.
Okay.
And so Yvonne is getting for her daughter something that's really for her mom because, like, what does a 1-year-old do with a toy? No, eat it. And she started collecting Polly Pockets. Do you remember Polly Pocket and Mighty Max? Oh, you're younger than me.
I know, like, people that I knew
hate
were...
you.
Wrong. People that I knew were into it. I don't know.
Okay,
but, like, kids my age were into that stuff.
Okay, fine. So
I
anyway,
don't
she's
know.
just for lulz. She's started collecting Polly Pockets, and she has a little thing for them and stuff. And I was looking into it, and Polly Pockets and Mighty Max, for that matter, are one of those toys where I can legitimately see how the sealed one would have a lot more value than the non-sealed one, because the pieces are so small, and it's really hard to track down exactly what they're supposed to come with.
But it's a lot of value to sell.
Yes. So tell me
But
this.
what if I bought it to
Okay.
play with it
So if you-
and not to sell it?
If you collected Mighty Max, let's say, for example.
Okay.
You know what? No, let's say you collected Polly Pocket. I'm not judging, I'm just
Sure.
saying
No,
that's
that's
probably
cool.
what you would collect.
Either way.
Would you buy would you collect something like that to sell, or would that be more of a display piece? Like
I mean,
if you collected
if I'm
toys.
collecting it to sell, then in my opinion, that's a business.
What if you collected it just to own it? Because
Then I would
that's
wanna,
a third.
Then I would want to do something with it.
You would want to do
I
something
would want
with
to
it.
play with my little Polly Pockets.
So you would take it out of the package, even if it's just to put it on a nice display case and create a little
and
scene
I have
of
done
a
that.
still life.
And I have done
thing.
that because I have the
Okay.
I have the Halo's Master Chief helmet on a stand. That's out of
Sure.
its packaging. I have the Dragonborn fighting a dragon statue thing from Skyrim.
Okay.
I have Soldier 76. I have Master Sword in a Stone. I have the chick from Horizon Zero Dawn. I have a few little statue-y kind of thingies that are
Right.
kind of around my house. I think they look really cool. If they were in their box, it would be the game box or plain white foam,
Okay, all right, fair enough.
which sounds super lame.
Honestly, looking at these Mighty Maxes and Polly Pockets, man, I think there's a legitimate business model there of just buying actually huge quantities
Yeah, and that's
of every
cool.
toy.
Go ahead, but I'm the person that's buying it and then using it.
Right. Because
If you want to buy it to resell it, sure.
nostalgia, man. As my
That's
kids are
another
growing
thing.
up.
Who has nostalgia of a Pippin?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Okay.
A maximum of 42,000 people if everyone loved
it, yeah.
And I pretty much guarantee that's not what happened.
So, I'm kind of thinking, okay, this is our next. We just
Investing in
forget
Polly Pocket?
forget this Linus Media Group thing.
Yeah, screw it.
Okay, you and I just no one else is listening, right?
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm in on this. I'm in.
Okay, so you and I are going to go into business.
Okay.
We're just going to find cheap storage space,
Nice.
and every new.
I mean, someone's probably selling theirs now that we're out of this.
right,
Yeah,
right, okay.
yeah.
Every new stupid, crappy trend.
Yeah.
We buy a pallet of it.
Perfect.
Okay, we buy a pallet of it.
Heck
we
yeah.
just store it all Indiana Jones warehouse style, okay? And then we just wait for 20 years because I kid you not. Sealed Polly Pockets are going for 80, $100. Oof. Yeah. We're talking a 10x increase in value. Over 20 years, that's actually a not freaking bad return.
That's not bad. You just gotta nail it every time.
You don't even have to. If you get it right half of the time.
And you can probably flip it for something the other parts of the time.
Exactly. It's
You
something
know what's a really good business model right now, actually, which is
Sure.
kind of
Hit me.
frustrating?
Hit me.
Is making, advertising more aggressively and getting better SEO using trendier websites than companies that are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing and just buying knockoffs from China. There was this new bra thing that's
Sure.
kind of a sticker and then you pull the thing in and it pulls. I don't know how it works. I don't get it.
Oh, it's
But
like
there
the
was,
strapless push-up bra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of online pop-up shops that happened. And it's essentially like little mall kiosks, but on the internet. And they just pop up with crazy SEO. They advertise through Facebook and YouTube super aggressively. Mm-hmm. Really, really aggressively so that they're always in your newsfeed. And you're just like, oh, I've seen this advertised everywhere. I guess that's the one that I've seen that people are talking about. I guess I'll just buy that one. And you just make it something. If it's just super generic, you just buy a crap ton of them, ship them over on a drop ship, and then just throw up a whole bunch of different. You could even have one company that just has 100 websites. That
There are
all
a lot of
essentially the same.
skeevy, crappy ways to make money, aren't there?
Yeah.
Some people are bringing up fidget spinners in the Twitch chat, and honestly, here's what I would kind of tell you, because I think they were being kind of sarcastic. But here's the thing. And some of you might not be old enough to appreciate this yet, but nothing is as good now as it was when I was a kid. And I actually mean that objectively. Wagon wheels would be a perfect example of a candy that was delicious and tastes like utter trash now.
But like, there's actually been changes to the recipe.
Yes. Honey Nut Cheerios are another example.
Oh my
When I was like
God.
6, they were
destroyed
awesome.
those.
They killed Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
Like poor Marquez, who loves his Honey Nut Cheerios so much, has never even tasted Honey Nut Cheerios.
I had the good old days ones.
Okay, so anyway, here's what will happen with something like fidget spinners. They'll come back, but they'll be crappier. So if you bought a bunch of cheap ones today, that would be a bad play. But if you bought a bunch of like premium and specialty ones, like a bunch of like cool ones, or ones with like timeless branding. Like I don't know if Pokemon is timeless, but something like oh man, I don't know about like Toy Story, but like Gundam branding, like some kind of really resilient anime or something like that. A really high quality one from like a reputable maker. A pallet or two of those would be worth a gold mine 20 years from now. I'm sure of it.
I wonder if even like Dude Perfect ones.
No, okay. Nothing against Dude Perfect, but I wouldn't bet on any YouTuber, including ourselves.
Because they're too short-lived?
It's potentially too flash in the pan.
Right.
And you look at every YouTuber has what I call the curve, where they go, they go like, sorry, I'm going to go across your face because I was right behind the thing, where they go like this. Everybody grows really slow at the beginning because that's the nature of the algorithm. And then they grow, and then they plateau, and then they decline. And sometimes it's a slow decline, and sometimes some come back. Phil DeFranco, iJustine, these are examples of creators that bucked the curve.
And you can also just kind of flat, and then manage to come back up again, and then you'll flat, and then you'll come up again, and then you'll flat.
Yep. But that curve, I've seen it so many times, and there can be 1,000 reasons. Got into TV.
Yeah.
Just lost their passion. Team fell apart. Got bored. Decided to form an MCN.
Didn't adjust with the current like meta.
Didn't adjust.
Didn't change their thumbnails.
Or just didn't care anymore. Like there's 1,000 reasons why people fade off the platform. But I have seen very few examples of turning your platform success once you are no longer supporting the YouTube audience into some kind of actual sustainable off-platform success. I think Harley from Epic Mealtime would be an example, but I do have to wonder if his fortunes today would actually be even better if he had stuck with YouTube for longer, because YouTube is kind of like the investment phase of a modern web video production business. It's like where you're burning money. It's like when you got your seed funding, and the funding might just be your own time.
Yeah.
But that's where you're investing into the business and you're growing the audience. And then there's like a monetization phase where people might try to go off platform, or they might try to
sell shirts,
open a merch store, or they might try to PewDiePie's mobile game where they try to monetize in other ways. If PewDiePie spent all his damn time on his mobile game, then the plateau would happen, because the YouTube audience and investing into that audience and growing it is how you open up new opportunities for all that other stuff down the line.
Yeah.
And basically, the second you stop focusing on YouTube, that's where you start to see a decline, generally speaking.
Some people are like, this guy? Because you didn't like call them out. Like, yeah, not the point.
Yeah, the point isn't any particular individual right now. This is a greater observation about the platform.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we've gotten a little off topic. This was posted by Mr. Troll on the forum. The original article is from WCCF Tech, so you can take it with a grain of WCCF Tech. But AMD is rumored to be building, once again, a dual AMD top-of-the-line GPU card, which would surprise me a lot. But apparently they're going to throw a couple of Vega 10 XTs on a single graphics card. Really? Wow.
Apparently nearly 600 watts of power draw, because
YOLO,
I guess.
Wow.
I would recommend not buying it if they make it. Like, directly.
And that's the end of that chapter. Over 50 teraflops of FP16 compute, 25 teraflops of FP32 compute. So this thing is like, it's almost like a workstation card, except that they're gonna Ares Gamer brand it up to the nines.
And it's 600 watts per single card.
You know,
And you can just put 2.
the power supply makers have to be just giddy right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the first time
In quite a few
ever,
years.
a 1500 watt power supply might
Oh.
actually be necessary. Like, I'm serious. If you went 18, from what I'm hearing, rumor-wise, an 18 core Core i9.
But who's doing this?
Just hold on, hold on.
That's what I don't. No. Hold up. That's what I don't understand. These new processors that everyone's pushing in the consumer space are not consumer processors. I don't understand why everyone, like, on Reddit and all this kind of stuff, is freaking out over these processors. Why are you buying? Are you buying this? Why are you buying this? It's not for you. It's not for me.
Okay, hold
Why
on.
does anyone care?
Okay, let
you
me-
could have used a computer with that much wattage before if you just bought server parts.
Okay, let me jump. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna let...
You can go ahead.
Okay.
It's just so stupid. I don't know.
It's a chicken and egg thing, though. Will we ever get software development that is really and truly, honestly multi-threaded if it doesn't come to the high end
I think we're gonna wait for consoles.
and eventually trickle down
I think we're gonna wait for consoles.
to consoles?
Yeah.
But it's got to start somewhere. So can't we be excited just for the beginning of it, even if we don't buy it?
Is like old as hell now.
That's true, but Knight's Corner didn't have single-threaded performance like these new ones do.
That's true. But
These are like, they're the everything.
Still, when people are like that one's too expensive, it's like, are you gonna buy the other one? Is that one more affordable for you?
This is the have
It's
your
still
cake
in the red.
and eat it too product. But okay, but think about it this way too. What about the used market? 3 years from now,
The used market on a $2,000 processor.
yeah, it would be like, $600. Because we've seen the curve.
In 3 years?
Yeah, maybe 4. But it would be cheaper. It would be cheaper. At least the process is finally starting. Because here's the thing for the power supply makers. For all this time, they've had a product that has no legitimate purpose
They tried to be the first one out, so they're like, everyone else can now make things that need more wattage.
whatsoever. There was
No one stepped up.
there was no upgrade path at all.
Yeah.
Whereas now, there is legitimately, okay, when all of my baller friends get tired of their Vega 64s and buy something more efficient, probably, and their Core i9s, because word on the street is like overclocked, you could be looking at hundreds, not a couple, hundreds of watts through an 18-core Core i9 through the socket, okay? So, I could buy this stuff for pennies on the dollar and have legitimately a baller-ass gaming machine, but I need a baller power supply for it.
So like Scrapyard Wars 2026 is gonna be banging.
Yeah, pretty much. and like the one thing that we're gonna make sure that we invest in this time is a good power supply. Like a really good one.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Paris is apparently considering eSports for the 2024 Olympics.
Which I've
Kotaku.
defended esports on the WAN show against you for years, and I think this is so dumb.
Yeah, I'm kind of done
I
with
would
that.
be down with there being like an
eSports
Olympics.
Sure. But that should be like, okay, and don't take this the wrong way.
Careful now.
But it should go Olympics, Paralympics, and then E-Olympics. Because quite frankly,
Even if you just see it as like first one into the gate.
the audience overlap is like negligible,
Yeah.
probably.
You could run them at the same time.
No, because then I think that's like, okay, think about like, households with one screen,
Okay,
Like,
fair. Yeah.
Junior doesn't want to fight with Grandpa over, who's got the TV.
Yeah.
But what do we got here? They'll consider an inclusion as a medal event, according to.
Okay, wait. You gotta read this quote. You have to. Right there.
We have to look at it because we can't say it's not us. It's not about Olympics.
And the next one.
The youth, yes, they're interested in esports and this kind of thing. Let's look at it. Let's meet them. Let's try and see if we can find some bridges.
The youths. They like the electronics. we need to find a way to incorporate it so that the youths are interested. Oh my goodness.
All right. This was posted by the Beast PC on the forum. The original article is from Tom's Guide. This is apparently what the iPhone 8 looks like. It's an iPhone 8 dummy unit, and it's a video. Dang nabbit.
Looks like a Marquez video.
Looks like a Marquez video. I like that carpet right there that
Yeah.
still doesn't have his thing that I told him to put on it when I inspected his studio. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. I can't actually believe how much I hate this.
Really? I don't mind it.
Oh, I think it's
Because the screen
tacky.
extends on each side of it.
It's terrible.
I think it's just a way to get more screen real estate. Because you have like little notification things up there. Like your battery status and stuff is in line with your camera. I don't mind it at all, personally.
That, I really hope that's not the touch sensor on the back. That is pure cancer.
Right in the middle? Is mine right in the I don't
Yeah,
have
it
my
is.
phone on me. Is it?
I think so.
I thought it was up a little bit.
No, you might be right, actually. That might be closer to the LG approach.
I'm going to
I can't remember where
I have my
LG
phone
puts
on
it.
me.
Wow, I actually don't remember the last time I was that not caring about an iPhone. Apparently
It's
it'll
not
have...
in the middle at all.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
It's way up.
Apparently it'll have wireless charging. It'll still have a camera bump on the back. And this is ridiculous. Okay, this is posted by Snorting Frogs on the forum. We have been hounding Seagate to let us play with their 60 terabyte SSD since they announced it like a year ago. They still haven't gotten one to us, and now they announce a 64 terabyte NVMe SSD? Gosh darn it, you guys! No, I'm real upset now! Well, I'll just ask for this one instead.
There you go.
Disney to pull their content from Netflix. This is originally from Bloomberg. This is a big
Yeah.
deal, actually.
Yeah.
So, the happy ecosystem where you just pay one flat fee and you get pretty much all the content that you could want is getting fragmented. So much for the idea of pulling the plug or cutting the cord or whatever it's called.
Just
Oh,
mute the
there's a
laptop.
Tide commercial. So much for cutting the cord and being able to get pretty much everything you want for like $15 a month in 4K. You're gonna have to start building your own cable package the way you used to, subscribing to a bunch of different services, and there is a huge gap that just got formed in the market for someone who's the aggregator, who's like, okay, basically a cable network.
Yep.
The online cable network is coming, where they're just like a platform where you buy your Disney and your Netflix and your other packages,
And you view it all in one space.
and it uses all the APIs to bring together a nice little thing.
I wonder if that's going to be Plex.
I think the TV makers are going to jump on this.
Oh. So you think there's going to be like a Samsung?
I think Google could jump on this.
Yeah.
I think Samsung is going to try and do their own thing with Tizen.
I feel like Google might fail.
I
So I
think
think Google's going to try to do it through YouTube, and people aren't going to want that.
I don't think they will. I think they're going to do it through devices like the Nvidia Shield TV. Because remember, too, that there are TV manufacturers, including Sony, that bake full Android experiences into their TVs.
Yeah, but there's people that want this on their laptop. The trend of like university girl watching Netflix all the time on her MacBook is like that's on her MacBook, not on her TV.
It would be interesting for Plex to go after it. I don't think Plex would have I don't think they'd have a seat at the negotiation table.
Come on, Plex.
For their
Step up.
support of piracy all these years. They're like, ooh, we don't support piracy, but support of piracy for all these years. I don't think they win a chance to talk about this.
Interesting.
So I'll be interested to see where this goes, but one way or another, Disney pulled their catalog from Netflix. They will stop supplying Disney and Pixar branded movies starting in 2019 and launch an online product of their own, going directly to consumers.
This is part of the reason why Linus started it, and I've been doing it for a little while now. I've been like collecting, when they go on crazy sales on Amazon, Blu-ray copies of
Yep.
movies and TV shows that I'm personally really interested in, because like
Yep.
oh yay, it's on Netflix, then it might just disappear.
Gone.
Who knows?
And like, to be clear, I'm still going to have a Netflix subscription.
And I do as well.
But the Blu-ray does look a lot better if you're a big snob.
And if you're like a crazy fanatic of a certain show or movie,
Extras.
there's extras. And some of them are really cool. I really like commentary.
Yep.
That's one of my things. I've always really like one of my favorite things ever was the making of DVD for, I think it's Halo 2 or Halo 3, I don't remember which one. That was amazing. I love making of things, and I love commentaries.
I really like interviews with producers, actually.
Yeah.
Like, honestly...
That's like the making of usually has
the
that.
interviews with Larry David on the Seinfeld complete collection that I got at Costco was like so cheap. It was awesome. It was
That's
like
the thing.
$30.
You snipe them on sales.
Yeah.
Don't buy them at full price because
Yeah.
they're really expensive.
Like HMV shut down, and I got like 6 seasons of Game of Thrones,
I
which
should have gotten that.
I'm still not watching, but like I know I'm gonna watch them. I got like a bunch of seasons of Walking Dead. 6 seasons? No, I got I think 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, like 6 of Walking Dead, which I still want to watch. Haven't even started it yet, but yeah. So apparently they'll continue the relationship with Marvel TV.
I got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in a combo pack for like $5 or something, which was awesome.
Oh! Okay, now this might be a case of picking studies based on confirming your own bias, but this is off TechCrunch. Apparently, some study finds, and I haven't looked at their methodology at all, but this is just funny to me because honestly, I think fitness trackers are the stupidest, most useless fad of all
We're
time.
very against them.
Um,
and I
Fitbit-
think we're both very for like
Exercise.
physical health and
Yes.
exercise and taking care of yourself.
I'm about that if you have to like track your steps, you're really not doing it right.
Yeah.
So Fitbit apparently turns teens off exercising. Wah, wah.
A lot of it has to do with pressure from competition with peers, encouraged in-app leaderboard, and also all the other things that are like push, compete against this other person, only work for short-term style motivational effects.
And this is the other thing, I believe that fitness trackers are great for people who were already going to be ripped as hell and exercising all the time anyway. Like, it's one of those things where I don't see the fitness tracker as a solution.
If you're only going for steps.
Yes.
That's another thing they mentioned here. The completely non-personalized 10,000 steps per day target was cited as unfair and pressurizing goal, generating feelings of guilt or lack of ability among users. Like, if you're working on it, but it's really very difficult for you to get 10,000 steps a day, and you just feel like you're failing all the time because you're getting like 9,000 steps, but
Yeah.
you're like really trying,
I wonder what I'm at today.
that's terrible.
I don't even know how to check it on here. This? No. Wow, crap. I legitimately actually don't know how to check on here. I never use the Apple Watch, so it's like... I should just switch to a watch, honestly.
Yeah. I've said that for a while.
To start sharing your activity, sync to the iPhone. Yeah, I don't even have it synced to my phone right now. Gamers Nexus tests the Noctua fan rumors. So we'll post the original article here in the Twitch chat.
I did already.
Oh. Already then?
I knew you were going to go into this next.
They tested differences including appearance, noise, and effectiveness, and the online community was quick to crap on Noctua about this, but it turns out the differences in the tooling were mostly to do with just having 2 separate sets of molds at 2 different locations and 2 separate facilities that have different capabilities, and tuning that took place between creating an original mold and a later mold. And their quality standards haven't changed at all. I was informed by Noctua that our LTT edition fans were actually produced in China, all of them. And the NFA14 has been...
And they were great.
Yeah, they were great. The NFA14, I believe, has been over there for a long time. But basically, Gamers Nexus got a larger sample and debunked the claims. It was down to unit variability for the original posts, and basically, it's all within margin of error. There's no difference between China and Taiwan-made fans except for the appearance. And Noctua has always had issues with their color matching. We've got old Noctua fans where the cream is closer to white and the brown is closer to like a reddish brown or closer to like a pure brown.
Those ones I particularly don't like in terms of color. The newer ones are not that big of a deal.
So there you go. So that's pretty much it for the WAN show.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else to... add?
I
Or?
don't believe so. I can't talk about what I did this week,
Yeah.
so I don't really believe so.
All right, it's been a long week, so I want to get the heck out of here. I
Yeah.
actually have a bunch of stuff I have to cart up to the second story over there after this anyway, so.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye.
Wow, lots of viewers today. 6,800, almost 6,900.
6,900.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty 6,900.
Yeah. All right, so I guess keep these organized. Oh, right.
I also noticed the kids ones for these comes with a whole bunch of replacement ones, so that even if you break the side off, you can just replace it.
That's sick.
That's actually pretty smart.
They know what's up with kids.
Yeah. Someone on their team has had a child.